Welcome back everyone to another episode. Yes, we are churning out the content, and today I'm going to be talking about my lower body warm-up routine. That's because I've been inundated with requests ask me about it. When I say inundated, I literally mean one person has asked for it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm actually quite excited to talk about this because mobility, flexibility, it's kind of one of the things I'm not bad at. Mobility is something that's near and dear to my heart because I think everyone should be taking it a lot more seriously. So today we're going to be talking about my actual leg warm-up routine. The routine that I do every single time before I do deadlifts or squats or basically anything that involves the lower half of the body. So here we are, we're starting off with child's pose. The key to this is to get as low as possible to the ground, spread those legs wide, and you want to bring your feet together at the back as well, loosening up the lats and loosening up those hips. And with all these stretches, by the way, you want to be holding them for at least 10 to 15 seconds, no longer than that. We're going straight into downward dog. So what I like to do here is to rotate the hips from side to side and really drive that heel into the ground. You really want to feel it down the entire length of the back of your leg. We're gonna go into a lunge. So this is a deep lunge stretch. What a lot of people get wrong, and what I used to do, the trailing leg goes way too far behind, and that in fact is not good. You don't want to be doing that. You're overstretching it, in fact. So what you want, this is not actually a hip flexor stretch, this is a quad stretch. So what you want to be doing is creating a right angle at the knee with that trailing leg, as you can see here, driving through the glute, driving forward. What you should feel is the stretch across the entire front of the quad. If you want to increase that stretch, you can do what I'm doing right here and reach to the top. You can also add a twist, to loosen up the spine and those lats. So now we're going to go into a side squat, or what's also known as a Cossack squat, I think. Obviously, you might think to yourself, holy shizzle, there's no way I could possibly get that low. If you're one of those people, don't worry. Just build up to it. Go as far as you possibly can. The key thing is to build up to it. Go as far as you can and then hold it, and then over time, I promise you, you will build up that mobility if you keep going at it. So the bent leg foot wants to be flat against the floor. So what a lot of people do when they do this is that they'll actually they'll be on their tiptoes doing it. That's not what we want. We want a flat foot. This is great for ankle mobility and also stretching out those adductors. Now that we've done our hips, our ankles, our calves, our hamstrings, our quads, we want to be moving into our hips again. I don't know what this is called, but basically it's self-explanatory. Put one ankle onto the opposite quad and press down onto that knee. As you can see here, I'm holding onto a stool just for a bit of balance. So once that's done, again, 10 to 15 seconds, and then repeat on the other side, on the other leg. So this is really, really good for opening those hips. A lot of the time when people can't reach depth on the squat, it's because they have tight hips. So this is a really, really good stretch for that. The last part of the stretching routine is the ankle stretch. I don't know what this is called, but here you are. Basically, you just want to elevate one foot and then push down on the knee and lean forward. You want that knee to track past your toes, and what you should feel is the stretch along the back of the Achilles. Similarly to tight hips, tight ankles and poor ankle mobility is a big reason why most people can't reach proper depth on the squat. So these are two things that I like to really concentrate on in my leg warm-up routine, because these are usually the limiting factors for most people when they can't hit depth. one that you probably wouldn't think to do is to warm up your shoulders. So basically I do these, I don't know what these are called, windmills or something. Basically I do these standing up usually, but because I want to stay in shot and not cut myself in half, I'm doing them kneeling. And basically you want to be doing at least 10 on each side, in both directions, both forwards and backwards. And it's actually really important to warm up your shoulders before a squat, because when you're holding that bar and your shoulders are externally rotating, you need, a lot of people don't realize that you do need to warm your shoulders, or if you don't, you should. Yeah, because having good external shoulder rotation means that you can pull that bar tightly against your back, meaning you have a tighter back, and a tighter torso means a better squat. And that's it for the stretch portion of the warm-up routine. What you really want to be doing is not taking too long with the stretch warm-up. You know, I used to be of the opinion that, you know, the longer the better, but in fact that is not the case. When warming up for strength lifting, for lifting heavy, you don't actually want to be stretching for that long, because what can happen if you stretch for longer than a minute or so, basically what happens is that your muscles become too, I don't know, basically just too loose, and then you can actually you lose a lot of power. In fact, of course it varies from person to person. You know, some people like to stretch a bit longer than most, or some people don't like to stretch at all, which you really shouldn't be doing, but it does vary. As a guideline, you don't really need to stretch longer than 15 seconds per muscle. I want my warm-up to be, you know, sufficient. You know, it has to be substantial and sufficient, but it doesn't need to drag out for forever. I want to save up all my energy for the working sets. I don't want to be wasting energy warming up. Everyone has their own stretch routine, but if you're looking for something that's quick, something that's effective, something that gets the job done, try it out and let me know in the comments. And of course, guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't, and if you don't already, follow me at Zain Razor Fit. If you don't follow me, why haven't you? If you haven't already, check out my clothing brand. It's hornbillyapparel.com. Basically, we do clothing for the well-built gentleman. That's all from me, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy lifting, everyone. I'm out. Peace!